Tomas.
Hi, Tomas?
Tomas.
Tomas.
Huh?
Tomas, yes?
Tomas.
Tomas.
Just
Okay.
Tomas.
Okay, my name's Cherry.
Cherry.
Yes, Tomas.
Cherry, oh baby.
Hi, I'm Cherry.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Tim. Tim and Tomas.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to... So what do you guys do? Are you guys the directors or the producers?
We're the producers.
No, I'm just going to I'll just be off. No. Okay, so I'm talking to Tomas and Tim about Dead Watch Rising, the new Crackle movie streaming online. I'm so sorry. Tell me, how did you guys find this? Were you guys video game players?
Yeah, we both absolutely love the game. And I've spent hours and hours in Dead Rising 2, a little bit in Dead Rising 1, but specifically really fell in love with Off the Record, which is the Frank West version. And I've probably played this game through to completion at least 20 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh. What about you?
I'm also a long-time gamer, a hardcore gamer, and I've worked in game development and creating game stories for more than a decade. So, when we came to this project, it was coming from inside the gaming industry and looking to, sort of find the right projects to then take to Hollywood.
So how did Crackle find you guys? Or did you guys already say, I want to make this movie, and then you found someone who's interested in working with you?
Yeah, so like I said, Tim and I, we went and got the license, the rights from Capcom. And then Tim sat in and started doing the creative process with Capcom, which is kind of breaking the old Hollywood model of how you develop a project. He worked with the game creatives to come up with a script that we knew would appeal to the fan base initially. And then we went to Legendary. So Legendary is our home. We produce for Legendary, even though we're independent. And then once Legendary signed on, then we looked for who would be a great distributor. And really, like, who can reach our fan base in a unique way, right? We want that over-the-top distribution. And it would be a Crackle or a Netflix or the like. And Crackle got behind it, and all bullshit aside, they really put a lot of effort into it. And they came to understand what we were trying to do and how we're trying to break the cycle of really poorly done adaptations, right? And they've been very supportive of us all along, and we're thrilled.
It looks a lot of fun. I mean, I haven't played this particular video game. I do like video games. But this looks so much fun. It so reminds me of Ash, which is why the poster just is fabulous to me. When you guys were creating this and sort of taking it from a video game to real world using real people, how difficult was that to translate? Because Jesse was saying how people were getting hurt with like all the fight scenes and everything. And, in video games, there's no gravity, so they just do all kinds of craziness.
Well, I'll at least start. Tim will talk about the adaptation process, but I would say, I don't know if you got it in Jesse's interview, but when we looked at Jesse for the role, you've got to be an action hero in this thing. And he really wanted that challenge. And I tell the story, when you watch the film, you'll see him jump off the edge of this kind of dirt hill and land on a block of railroad ties. This was day one of filming. He landed directly on his hip, and I would have sworn he broke it. He had a bruise, like literally this big, and he did it every single day in, day out. I saw him use the stuntman once because we absolutely mandated it, but he put his everything into that. And he knew what he was coming to play, right? He knew that this character is going to get in there, is going to get tore up, is going to get bruised and bloodied and battered, and he brought it, right? And the adaptation process Tim could speak to, but bringing the actors and getting them involved and like to authentically understanding that and wanting to bring, same thing with Megan. Megan, gorgeous girl, she looks like she would break in half, and she was so tough and wanted to do most of her stunts. And Virginia climbing over the crates and jumping on people, right? Everybody kind of bought into the world and really how it has to be told to really give it that authenticity.
Oh wow, that sounds like such fun.
Oh, it's absolutely a ton of fun. I mean, we're adapting a silly, over-the-top zombie-killing game to a movie. How could you not have fun with that? Our opening scene has a psychotic killer zombie clown with an axe. And that was done deliberately to signal to the fans, here's what we are. We're the movie with a zombie clown and an axe. We're not The Walking Dead. We're not this deathly serious. There are many serious themes in the movie. There are political themes, themes about media, about culture, about life and death. But, fundamentally, we're the movie with the zombie clown, And that's what we wanted to be, And to go back to your question, which was how to adapt, the challenges of adapting things, Dead Rising is a kind of a wacky game. You can run around with a pylon on your head. You can kill zombies.
Or a Borat bathing suit.
Yeah, or Borat's bathing suit, right? And we absolutely, our number one sort of goal was to be loyal to the game, to be true to the IP. And so we knew from the very get-go, the only way you can do that is to adapt that tone. You might not literally be able to have your character, like to have Jesse running around in a banana thong would have been fun for a certain kind of viewer, but wouldn't really have worked for everyone else. But
would have worked for a lot of people.
yes, I think so. Our audience would have skewed a little differently, but it might not have been any smaller. But the trick was to find ways to make what the essence of the game come to life in ways that were going to work in live action.
So the fans have been really happy with your adaptation?
Extremely happy. I think if you go on Twitter, you look at the boards on Reddit or any of the other places where fans sort of talk about these things, it's almost universally positive. And the thing we see over and over and over again is people saying, thank God someone did a video game adaptation that was loyal to the game.
Now, are you guys thinking about making a sequel or adapting another video game that you guys are in love with and that you guys play?
We have a library of game titles that we already have under option, and we're always talking to game publishers and game developers about other ones. We have kind of a hit list that we're going for, and simultaneously we're talking about the various paths that future Dead Rising projects may go down.
Just like Dead Rising, we're looking at games that we really love to play and that we think can be adapted. Not every game should be adapted. Right? There's some stories out there that just won't make it in live action and shouldn't be brought over at all. But a lot of them do. Dead Rising was cool because we love the game, right? We're looking at some ninja games and some crime thrillers and some murder mysteries and some mafiosa games, right? That'll have its core audience. We want to appeal to them, but can also spill out to a wider audience.
So Legendary, in my opinion, is one of the production companies that really support the artists. Is that why you guys are so built in with them, and that's how you reached out to Crackle? Because Crackle seems really supportive as well.
We are very pro-Legendary, to say the least. They understand our business model. Right? We came in and sat down and said, look, we actually believe that video games can be the next comic books in terms of adaptation. We believe the generation that grew up on these are now moving into power in Hollywood, and we believe our model of developing these breaks the traditional Hollywood model of how you develop. Right? It has a certain amount of collaboration, a certain amount of authenticity, and we think we can do this well. Legendary totally got that. They said, we give you support, show us the games you want to do. Like, here's the ones we've already identified, here's the ones we love playing. You can put a controller in our hand, you can watch us go, right? That authenticity makes the difference. And look at Legendary's products. Look at how they position themselves in the projects they take on. It speaks for itself.
I am a fan of Legendary.
Yeah. We're, throughout the process, we're extremely sort of creator focused, and every time we came to them where there was an issue of any kind, and they were like, well, what's the creative solution? What do the creators want to do? Where are we going to take it? When we put forward our argument, it almost always was accepted. And this is fundamentally, it was originally a digital series that grew into a digital movie, but it operates in a space that's different from $100 million movies or even, larger budget TV shows. So we make them in a different way in order to get the kind of quality that we can on the sorts of budgets that we have. And Legendary had never made anything of that size or done that way before. And so every once in a while they would look at what we were doing on set or in the financing of it or in the way that the budget was structured and go, what on earth are you guys up to? But when we explained to them, this is unconventional, but here's how we're doing it. Every time they kind of went, yeah, okay.
And bear in mind, we did Mortal Kombat, the first digital series, right? And we had a tremendous amount of success for that. And we were given a lot of latitude as to how to put that together. Because we do fly under the radar at this budget level. But in answering your question, yeah, look, we're looking at sequels, we're looking at TV series for this. There's a variety of things we can do.
Thank you so much for talking with me, Tomas.
It's a pleasure. Yes,
and thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
I look forward to your next projects.
Thank you, Chair.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Cheers.
Cheers.